Hey everyone, check out all the great bounce, breakout, retest trades and breakout trades I've been doing with my swing high and swing low indicator in conjunction with Evo's great anticipation of what could happen and which stocks could go up. I was mentioning Datadog because he brought it up a couple days ago, and I noticed this tiny little swing high here in the price action. It broke out and traded up to 142.93, and when swing highs or swing lows make measured moves of themselves in the opposite direction to which they formed, a lot of the time they just keep going higher or lower. And if they do happen to retest where they broke out from, those are really good trades to take. So I got into this D-Dog trade that I mentioned earlier today, yesterday, when this pulled back to 139.82, and my stop was about $3 away. And what normally happens is they'll make if the side that created the measured move in the first place against the swing is still in control of the price, they'll make a measured move of themselves again and keep going in that direction. So even yesterday this made it up $3, and I kept holding for the next swing level here. I've actually just changed my target on this because I'm going to see if this level on the weekly chart can break out. And the great thing about what I'm doing here is I'm not using moving averages or indicators that, I mean, if you can learn how to interpret them and play them, but they're always changing, so it's hard to go back and back test them. This is like pure price action, right? So I don't use any other indicators when I'm using this. And what I know is that every one of these swings in whatever time frame you're trading, I do a lot of day trading of the futures as well, and if they get tested after they form, the first time they get tested after they form, they will make a measured move of themselves. Either they'll make a complete retracement of themselves, and the forces that created the swing in the first place will step in again and push the price back to the opposite end of the range of that candle, or they'll just keep they'll make a breakout in the direction that they're going. So I moved I took part of my profits on D-Dog, or I'm waiting to take part if we trade up to 152.24. But I'm going to then move my stop on the rest of the trade. And this can take a few weeks to play out, and you can play it with options or you can play it with shares. I like playing it with shares because I don't know how long it's going to take for these trades to play out, but I'll show you my Etsy trade after this. And so if the trend is going to continue up now in Datadog, this will trade up to 170.35 and maybe beyond. So that's what I'm going to go for the rest of my shares, and just move my stop. I'll move my stop to where it says on the daily chart, because this should not even retest back down here now. But, it's the stock market, so anything can happen. Okay, I'll show you my Etsy trade that I figured out yesterday, because Evo was talking about this as a sympathy play to, I think, what Shopify did, or they had some deal that they did with OpenAI, and that's why we had this massive move that, to my surprise, got totally retraced yesterday. And I went long off the weekly level, because I noticed that this swing high on the weekly chart initially, when it got tested several weeks ago, it couldn't break out, right? The bearish forces that created it were still in control of the price action, and it retraced itself down to its nadir and a little bit beyond. But you know, couple days ago, it broke out and traded up to 75.47. This candle just got up to their 75.77. So yesterday on the daily chart I was just showing you, like, I noticed it come back down, and I said to myself, okay, I'm going to buy some call options, out of the money call options, because if the bulls are really in control, this should trade back up again to 75.47. And so I was able to get these October 17th 70 call options for like $1.63 each, and I think right now they're at about $3 each. But I'm not getting out until my first target is hit at 75.47, and we can see, if we go back to the daily chart, that look how quickly this just kind of retraced back up there today. And I'll just stay in it until I'll take my first options off once we get back up, or hopefully we get back up to 75.47. And I've got enough time with the options. I also took some shares as well, because I didn't know how fast it was gonna bounce off of this level again. And you can see the way the characteristics of these swing highs and swing lows. Like Etsy, at least on a daily chart, we know it's really beaten up on a weekly chart, but at least on a daily chart, it's exhibiting trending properties. Okay, here's a swing high that breaks out, gets retested right there, so you go long there, you put your stop right there, right at the nadir of this swing candle, and then it made a measured move of itself again. And once one side is in control of the market, you just wait for the best trades. Like, you either take the breakout trades, or you take, if you're lucky and you get a breakout retest trade, you take your breakout retest trade and you just put your stop, whether you're using a weekly time frame or a daily time frame, or the same swing high, swing low characteristics work on 5-minute charts as well. And there's just, there's more noise and more reversals on 5-minute charts than there are on bigger time frame charts. And if we just go through Evo's list of trades, you can see that, remember, this is not a repainting indicator, right? So this level breaks out several days ago, comes back, retests. I think that's the trade Evo was talking about, but he was talking about some kind of bullish reversal candle. You just got to know the right breakout point to play, right? And I don't really wait for a reversal candle. I just figured to myself, okay, there's risk in every trade. I'll just go long, right here at 50.14, put my stop at 47.92, and at least get 52.36 again, which happened like the first day. And then, now I anticipated getting up to the next in the sequence, like 61.23. But I mean, if you took that trade, I guess you can take your profits anywhere, or you can refer to a weekly chart if you want to play things on connect the lower time frame to the higher time frame on what could happen next in whatever stocks you're playing. Here's that cannabis trade that Evo called out yesterday. And you might have taken it wherever, but this is the key area now. Like, we broke out on this swing high, and we traded up to 895. We actually traded up a little bit beyond that. Actually, another 70 cents or 60 or 70 cents beyond, no, 40 cents beyond that. And then like it retests right here, this exact point. So that's where I went long at 782, and my stop is at 669. And if the bulls are still in control on this stock, we should be able to trade up to 895 again, and then at least move up to the next swing high. So that's how I play these picks. Like when Evo gives us something, I just kind of look at what's going on with the price action and see if I can get in on breakout retests. This one I just got into a few days ago because Evo called it out. And this tiny little level here breaks out, retests, works once. We retest back down here again, work twice. And again, your stop would have just been right at the nadir of this candle, which would have been, well, my stop was at 43.91. It still kind of is. I'll have to relook at what's going to happen. But my target for this trade is the weekly high over here, because if we trade up to 62.36, I know this candle is going to make a measured move of itself. Either it'll retrace back down to its nadir, or maybe we'll just keep trending up and moving up in this stock. But I got into this I actually got in a little late because I didn't see this until he called it out. I got in at the target, 46.77, the target of this swing high, and then I just put my stop like $3 away, 43.91, just in case we retest it again. I didn't want to get out there. I want to get out where this whatever move's happening now would be over, and we'd just be dropping into consolidation, because that's what happened with this other trade that I posted. I thought this was going to be a big winner, and I got in just on this level over here. This is a very gappy stock, and maybe I should have played it off a weekly. The weekly chart smooths out this price action pretty well. But I said in the chat room here, I said, hey, if we trade up to 87.91, this has a good chance of continuing higher. I got in just below this. I played this as a breakout, putting my stop at 81.67. So I got in around 85, and a couple days ago I thought, okay, this is going to be a big winner, because I looked at the weekly chart too, and I thought, hey, we're probably trading up to 95.56 now. But, to my surprise, this was like a total reversal. And I didn't take any profits on this one. I just ended up getting stopped on this one. No big deal. I'm only risking, a really small percentage of my account on every single trade. But now what happens a lot is when what should have happened once this got up to 87.91 and even went up to 91, when we retested 84.79, if the bulls were still in control of the price action, this should have bounced again to 87.91, and we didn't do that. So I mentioned in the chat room that we're probably going into consolidation, because what happens when a breakout retest fails, if price trades up to that swing high again, in this case 84.79, there's more of a chance it'll actually reverse again and consolidate and trade back down to its nadir, as opposed to breaking out to 87.91 again. So I personally wouldn't go long in this stock if I was going to play it again until we traded up to 87.91 again, and then I'd either go long there or maybe wait for the retest at 84.79. If no other swing high forms in the patterns as we continue, as the price continues to move in this stock. I played this AAOI trade the same way. I bought shares right on the retest of this swing high that broke out. I mean, when this one broke out, it went way higher than 28.33. It went all the way to 31. So there's a very good chance when this traded back down to 26.33 that we're going to get back up to 28.33 now. And once we do, I anticipate that's where my target is on my shares, 31.13. I also bought some call options that expire next week because, again, I don't know how long this is going to take to get back up there. Here's an interesting one that Ivo mentioned this stock last week. And when he mentioned it, actually, this breakout retest of this level right here had already worked. So what happens with these things is that if they make a measured move of themselves again, and this level 1626 trades back up to 1766, they normally go up to the next swing high in the sequence, right? So I went long at 1766 and I just put my stop right at the breakout retest point because the best of these, they don't, once they make a measured move of themselves again off the breakout retest, they just go up to the next swing high. So I got in there, I put my stop there, and I got out today at 1958, and it just stopped almost right there. And sometimes you're looking at a lower time frame chart like the 5-minute chart, and I wasn't even watching this stock this morning because I'm in like all of these different stocks, and but I knew where I was getting out, and I just got the notification that I'm out of the trade at my target. And you can see on the 5-minute chart, it basically stopped right at 1958. Maybe went a few cents beyond it before it turned around. So, these swing candlestick patterns are really important. They really show you accurately, support and resistance, because what they are is they are patterns where either the bears or the bulls were able to step in and push the price quite far sometimes against the trend. So that's why they have these certain characteristics, and that's why I play these the strategies that I play with Ivo's picks on them. The reason that these swing levels get tested so often in the direction as the stock starts to trend and do its thing is that these are the places where liquidity is the highest. And, the markets are always seeking high liquidity places for, to get in and out of trades. I did the same thing with Symbotic. This tiny little swing level told me to go long at 50.14, put my stop at 47.92, and we had like this perfect bounce, and we're probably on our way now to 61.23 or maybe even higher. And I've been trading this way for years, right? I just kind of developed this on my own because I was looking at candlestick charts and I wanted to get into these really big price moves that start trends and continue trends, and so I could figure out where to put my stop and how to position size and what was probably going to happen next in the price action depending on what happens as a swing high gets tested in an uptrend. Like if we get up to 61.23 now, and we don't break through this, and instead we trade back down to the nadir of this candle, we might be consolidating for a while before the trend starts to continue again. Here's the one that I was like pissed that I missed this morning. We traded exactly down. Like I've been in this stock. Evo called this out about a month and a half ago, and I was riding it with some October 17th calls, and I got out on a pullback, but I knew that I wanted to get back in if we traded down to 69.80, which we did this morning. We got to 69.72, and we bounced exactly back up to 71.75. But there's some different stuff going on in this stock now, so we might consolidate here for a while before we move up again, as different little swing levels form. Maybe a good entry would be off the weekly chart if we traded down here, if for whatever reason we turn around on the daily chart. But I'm doing tons of futures trading also in like the micros and the minis, so I use the same strategy off of 5-minute charts, and like I trade these breakout retests. Had one in the MES, and we just kept trending up, and here's one that's coming up in the NASDAQ. If I don't know if any of you guys do any day trading, but I like day trading the futures. I've got this all set up perfectly so that I know exactly what levels I should be watching, and if price were to trade back down here on the NASDAQ rate now, 953.25, it's a very good chance it's going to bounce back up. I mean, this is obviously a very strong trend day. You just got to trade the noise of the smaller time frame charts in a different manner and be ready for more losing trades as things turn around all the time in the futures. I'm trying to get into this one also. Katos trades back down to 85.48. I mean, I don't know if that's going to happen, right? The best breakouts never even retest. They just, like, once these swings make a measured move of themselves in the opposite direction, like sometimes they'll just keep going up and up and up if the trend continues. So I mean, there's different ways to play it, right? Like I could have said, okay, what happens a lot of the time when the swings make a measured move of themselves in the opposite direction is they'll normally go down at least another R, the range of that swing candle. So, I could have gone long at 89.87 had I been watching this, or, and I still got to put my stop fairly far away in case there is a retest, but at least I won't miss out if the momentum of the move just continues. I mean, look how strong this is. Like, had I been watching this down here, I might have said to myself, okay, I'll take a risk. I'll go long at 41, put my stop at 32, just position size for the technical stop I need. And, I mean, look what happened with this one. Holy moly. All right, yay, D-Dog just hit its target on the weekly. So, like I said, I'm taking part of my shares off here, moving my stop to where, what's going to happen perhaps if we keep going up and we pull back is new patterns are going to form, and maybe a swing low will show up, and, maybe that swing low will get tested and we break down again. But, maybe a new swing high will form and it gets tested and we blow right through it, which tells you that the trend is strong and it's going to continue. So that's how I use the strategy for my longer term longer term swing trades. I mean, you can see what happens. Like some of these swing highs that get broken that never get tested, eventually they get tested. And if you know where to take the risk and where to put your stop, you can get these amazing bounce trades that, I sometimes point out to you guys, trades I'm taking off of kind of Evo's ideas as well. So now I'm just going to let this keep going, right? Because the trend's going to continue. Like I said, this should be able to get up. I don't know how long it's going to take, but up to 170.35, and then maybe it'll go even up to infinity and beyond. And I'll have some shares for that. And hey, if any of you guys want this for your own charts and want to learn how to use it, I'll teach you how to use it. Yeah, I charge money for it, but you can have this great tool for the rest of your life, and we can all trade together in Evo's room. But you got to have TradingView, right? Because I only coded it for TradingView. Oh yeah, one of you guys asked about Connell. Yeah, I mean, Connell, that's why I said maybe if whatever price action's happening here continues, right? New patterns might form now. I was actually in this. I got out because I got impatient. I didn't want to tie up my money. But I had gone long off the weekly chart once we traded up to 35.26 because I didn't think we would just keep bouncing off of 31.10. But then, to my chagrin, we traded back down here again. And although the bounce worked a couple more times, I mean, normally the breakout retest trades just don't work over and over again. So I wasn't patient enough in this, and I wanted to, just deploy my capital into some other trades. But, if I was in this now, I would just be, at least with my strategy, my stop would probably be at the reverse of this weekly candle that we're in right now. And just let's see how high it goes. And let's see if we keep bouncing around, or maybe, on the daily chart, we'll take off up to that level. But in the interim, there might be more price action and different swings will form. And I mean, this just, the way I've got this coded is that I get alerts on my smartphone when whatever stocks I'm watching, a new swing high or a swing low pattern forms, and then I know which prices to watch and what to consider doing in the trades that I'm in.